split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day. The practice consistency to build a little bit of community to make the suffering we're about to put ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little easier to stay consistent with. All right. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get into some side splitty, not really hip mobility stuff. All right. Let's go. First thing we're going to do is warm up our hips, warm up our joints. We're going to slowly do some hip cars. Usually we do hip cars like this. We lift the knee up, open to the side, rotate, bring it down and back. We're going to do a slightly different variation today. All right, I'm going to move the cameras back a little bit so that we can capture a little bit more of that version. What I want you to do is come onto all fours. And we're going to have our hands down, our knees down. Hands are underneath our shoulders, knees are underneath our hips. We're going to do hip cars by bringing the knee up as high as we can, trying to touch the thigh to the chest. We're going to open up that hip. Try to keep your hips in the same spot, but lift that leg up directly to the side. From here, we're going to rotate the leg a little bit. We're going to lift and bring the feet facing up. Then we're going to bring the leg down and back behind us. All right? That is one rep. We're going to do 10 really painful reps together. This way. Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's two. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's three. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's five. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's six. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's seven. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's eight. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's nine. Last one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 10. Whew. That is some hip cars. I don't know if it's because when we are on our hands and knees, the legs just feel heavier, but they feel way more exhausting on my core. I think partially is because when your hands and knees are down, it makes it so the rest of your body can't wiggle around as much. And so you really have to keep your muscles locked in nice and tight when you're moving that leg around. When you're standing, I feel like it's a little bit more flexible, it's a little bit more flowy. You have a little bit more room to sort of be a little sloppier with it. And oh man, the price that you pay for that stability, I guess, is exhaustion. We're gonna keep on going. We're gonna do the other leg. All right. Hopefully you catch your breath after my rambling, and let's do this again. I'm gonna go and face this way. Ready? We're gonna bring that knee in. We're gonna lift that leg up to the side, doing that fire hydrant. We're gonna bring the knee down, lift the ankle up. We're rotating. Lift, 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 lift. Bring the leg down and back. That's one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's two. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's three. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's four. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's five. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's six. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's seven. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's eight. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's nine. Last one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 10. Whew. Hopefully, this time around, you're feeling in your glutes. They're firing really hard compared to our normal version. And hope you found that was worth it, because I think I'm ready to move back to our regular stuff for the rest of them. All right, we're going to do the standing hip cars to go in reverse and finish it off. When we do the standing hip cars, we're going to bring the leg down and back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. We're going to lift that leg up to the side. We're going to rotate the knee down, knee up, knee forward. All right. Part of the reason why we're doing these standing is because my brain is just not going to be able to figure out how to do this kneeling without a couple more attempts, and I'm not quite there yet. So let's do these standing. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's two. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 3, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 4. I'm going to do a couple from this angle, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 5. Keep going, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, 6, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 7, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee, that's 8. Let's finish these last 2 strong. Bring that leg down and back. Lift to the side, rotate the knee down, rotate the knee up, bring the knee forward. That's 9, last one, back, side, ankle, ankle, knee. I've been changing back and forth between ankles and knees because either way, one of them is going down, one of them is going up. So if that got confusing for you, don't worry, I also confused myself. I was like, what am I even saying right now? And hopefully that clarifies it. All right, we got one last one. One last leg. Trust says made it. Welcome back. Other comments got hidden away faster than I could see them. So I guess we're going to continue. And maybe I'll catch the next round. All right, let's go. Last leg. Bring the leg down and back. Lift to the side. Rotate, bring the ankle up. Rotate, bring the ankle down. Bring the knee forward. That's 1. We're doing 9 more. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. That's 2. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. That's 3. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. That's 4. Keep going. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. 5. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. 6. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. 7. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. That's 8. 2 more. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. That's 9. Last one. Back. Side. Ankle. Ankle. Knee. That's 10. That is our first warm-up exercise. We are done with hip cars. We're going to move on into our second warm-up exercise, and I want you to fold at the waist, bring your belly button down towards the ground. Whee! From here, we're going to breathe, all right? Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop into the ground. From here, we're going to bend one knee, straighten out the other leg, fold our belly button down some more. We're going to switch back and forth, all right? Take it nice and slow. Feel that stretch building in your hamstrings. And switch. And switch. Widen your legs. Bring your legs closer together. Experiment with it. Find a comfortable version of that stance and keep going. While you do a bunch more of these, we're going to tell you about the rest of the show. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering that we're putting ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little easier to stay consistent with. All right. So if you like side splits, if you want to work on your hip mobility, and you need a little bit of help staying consistent with it so you actually make some progress, make sure you hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back because we do this every single day, 7 days a week. All right. Whew. Now that you know that, let's wrap this up. Bring your belly button down a little bit deeper, a little deeper, a little deeper. Oh, feel that stretch in your hamstrings. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, pop into a little bit of a squat. Come on back into standing. That is our second warm-up exercise. We're going to move on into number 3. We're going to do some thoracic rotation. All right. The thoracic spine is basically this chunk of your spine. Thoracic rotations means we're going to be rotating. All right. Thoracic spine, rotating. What we're going to do is going to get back into the same position we were just in. We're taking this leg, we're straightening out. Sorry, we're taking this leg, we're bending it. This leg, we're straightening out, and then we're folding down just like before. But instead of going back and forth like this, we're going to take the arm on the bent leg side. We're going to reach across to the straight leg. We're going to push off that shin bone. We're going to use it to rotate our spine. I want you to lift your hands up into the air. If you're not flexible enough to do that yet, you're kind of over here, that's okay. Rotate your neck, look at the hand, and inhale. Exhale and reach over your shoulder. Exhale, reach. Woo! That is half a rep. When I say exhale and reach, I really mean it. Let the air out of your lungs, let the pressure out of your lungs so you can rotate, so you can squeeze like you're twisting a Coke can or a Pepsi can into a little squished mess. That's what you want to be able to do with your ribs, all right? That sounds a little gross, but we're going to move on to the other side. This leg is bent, this leg is straight, this arm is bent, and it is pushing off that straight leg. Rotate. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo, that is one rep. We're doing 5 of these. Let's go. 4 more. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 2. Again. Exhale, reach. 2 again. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo, my back is cracking. Again. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo, that's 3. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 4. Inhale. Exhale, reach. 4. 5th time's the final time. Let's talk it over from the top. We're bending one leg. We're straightening out the other. We're folding our belly button down. We're taking the arm from the bent leg side, reaching across to that straight leg, pushing off that shin to open it up. Inhale. Exhale, reach. That's 5. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Woo. Hopefully, your spine is feeling a little bit looser. You can start doing some squirming, squishing, wiggling, wobbling. I don't even know what these are called. Do some body rolls. That's a totally different type of movement than what we were practicing. But if you can let your spine do a little wiggle, do a little dance, let it happen. Enjoy that extra mobility. All right, doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to go and make sharp, explosive movements. Just a little looseness. Cool. All right. We're going to move on into our 4th and final warm-up exercise. It's called the Cossack switch. It's going to look a little bit like this. I'm going to show you a crazy looking version, and then we're going to dial it back so it's a little bit more manageable if you need it to be. All right? We're going to open up our legs a little wider. We're going to drop into a deep squat on one leg while the other leg is doing basically a little side split thing over there. All right? For a lot of us, this is going to be a little bit challenging. So your version might look more like this. You're doing a bit of a squat on this leg, and that leg is just nice and straight over there. All right? Wherever you are, our next step is to move our butt that way so that we look a little bit like this, or perhaps like this. All right. What we're going to do is come on down on one side, however deep you can. And if you need to, use your hands to help get your butt over to the other side. If you're not super deep into the ground because you can't get that deep yet, that's okay. Your version might look a little bit like this. You might be able to just get on over with just your leg strength. All right. Perfect. If you're somewhere in the middle, you're like halfway deep, you can't reach the floor, but you need the help of the floor, feel free to use a coffee table, use an ottoman, use something to give your hands a little bit of support while you come on over. All right? I hope you've done at least one, because I'm going to pretend that was one. We're going to do 9 more. Let's go. Come on down. However deep you need to go for your version of this movement, and come on across. That's 1.5. Now we're at 2. All right? If you're still using your hands, great. Stick with them. If you feel like you can move on, you're like, I don't need those. I can do these hands free. Look, ma, no hands. Keep going. All right. I think is this 4? I think that's 4. When you've done a couple of these and you're like, okay, I'm ready to step it up another level, we got some options. One of them is sit up a little taller, sit up a little straighter, lift that chest, lift that head up into the air, extend your arms out in front of you, and keep going. The arms out are to help you counterbalance. So if you feel like you don't need the counterbalance, you can always bring the arms back, I guess. That's 7. At this point, if your knees are getting a little achy, they're not enjoying this really low shifting from side to side movement, you can make it a little easier on your knees by coming up a little bit. All right? Coming up is relevant only to you. Wherever you used to be doing this movement, come up a little bit from that. Yours does not have to look like mine. All right? Once you've come up, you can go boom, mime some rope pulling, and then you're over here on the other side, sink on back down. Sink a little lower. Keep on dropping. And when you're ready, come back up. Come on over. Come on down. That's 8. We got 2 more. If you want to do something crazier, we're going to do some squats. If you want to make it continue to be a little bit easier, you can come on up, slide over, come on down. All right? Wherever you are, let's get ready to do our next move. Number 9, if you're doing squats with me, I want you to pop down, sink as low as you can, inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink as deep as you can. And then on the next inhale, don't do anything. But on the exhale, I want you to push through that leg. I want you to come back into standing. All right? Inhale. Exhale, push. That's 9. Slowly come back down on the other side with control. Inhale. Exhale. Sink down into the ground. And let's go. Inhale. Exhale. Pop up. Inhale. Exhale. That's 9 completed. We got 10. Number 10. Wrapping it up. Let's go. Slowly come on down. Inhale. Exhale. Sink deeper into your stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Pop. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Come on down. Inhale. Exhale. Pop. That is 10 Cossack squats, right? And Cossack switches and Cossack sliding things. We are done with our warm-ups. Those are our 4 warm-up exercises. It's time for us to move on into our stretches. If you somehow don't know, this is a 45 to 60-minute long side splits and hip mobility show. We do this every single day to practice a little bit of consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we keep on putting ourselves through a little bit more fun. All right? So if you like hip mobility, you want to move a little bit better, you like side splits, which is just advanced hip mobility, and you need a little bit of help practicing consistency, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back, set an alarm, set a calendar invite, do all those cool things, and I'll see you again real soon. But don't leave yet, because we still have all of the stretches to do. We're not even halfway through the show yet. Let's go. We're gonna move on into our stretches. The first thing I want you to do is grab a little bit of padding. I try to do that gracefully. It didn't happen, but at least the foam fell right in front of me instead of flying off to the side. What I want you to do is bring your knees down to the floor. All right? I want you to grab a little bit of padding to protect your knees. It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to have fancy gym flooring. This is a piece of gym flooring that I cut up with a pair of scissors, and obviously it looks horrible because I did it with scissors. And it's like 3/4 inch of foam. No way I was cutting that straight. I don't know what I was thinking, but it looks real ugly, and that's okay. Whatever you have at home, whether it's a dirty towel that just gets rolled up, sticks under your knee, perfect. If you have a flip-flop, your dog stole one of them, it's in the backyard somewhere behind some bushes, you have no idea, you only have one left, perfect. Stick it under your knee. Old sneakers you don't care about, you would never be caught dead wearing outside, perfect. Now they're fitness tools, all right? Whatever you need, throw some foam underneath your knee, throw some padding underneath your knee, and we're ready to continue. All right? What we're going to do from this kneeling position is, let me scoot back away from the camera so I don't cut myself off. Oh man, I'm so far back. Ugh. How's that? That's better. All right. Is we're going to kneel up nice and straight and tall. All right? Then we're going to extend one leg out in front while maintaining this nice straight and tall posture. From here, we're going to fold our belly button down to that thigh. I want you to take a breath in. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Whee! Fold forward. As soon as your hamstrings tell you, no way, this is awful, I don't like this, feel free to chill. All right, just rest, stop wherever that was, and breathe. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. No stress, no tension, just flop. All right, we're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale, relax. 3rd time, inhale. Exhale, relax. Whew. From here, we're going to add a little bit of movement. I want you to bring your knee up into a nice lunge position, all right? Then I want you to fold your upper body down towards your leg if you can. If you can't get that far, you're like, nope, my knee does not go that high, my chest does not go that low. That's okay, just try your best. From here, put your hands down and slowly, while trying to keep your chest as close to your leg as possible, straighten out that leg, feel that stretch in your hamstrings, all right? We're gonna do that 5 times. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 2. Feel that stretch in your hamstrings. Let's do it again. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Whew. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Last one, knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Ooh, yeah, feel it in your hamstrings. Let's do it again. Other side, leg in front, fold in. Oh, no, what am I talking about? Whoa, I just had a huge brain fart. From here, once you have folded forward and you've brought your knees up and down a whole bunch of times, we're going to breathe. We're going to exhale. We're going to sink a little deeper into our stretch. All right, we're going to do something called the inhale, exhale, fold. We're going to take a huge breath in into our lungs. We're going to slowly exhale all of the air out of our lungs, and we're going to fold at the same time. And we're going to bring our whole entire upper body down towards our leg a little bit more. All right? Inhale, exhale, fold. Big breath in, inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Belly button down. Feel that stretch in your hamstrings and inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Let's do it again. Inhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper. Third time. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little bit deeper into your stretch. That's 3 times. Knee up. Chest down. Straighten it out. That's 1. Again, knee. Chest. Straighten. That's 2. When you straighten out that leg, take a second. Feel that stretch. And then come back. All right? Don't feel like I'm rushing you just because I talk fast. Take your time. And once you've done about 5, we're going to fold a little bit deeper. This is the last time. All right. Inhale, exhale, fold. Big breath in. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold, 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 fold. Belly button down. Woo. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop. Again, inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop. Remember, yours does not have to look like mine. We are just trying our best to fold. I have been doing the show for a long time, and my folding has gotten a lot better over time. All right, inhale. Exhale, relax. As long as you're trying to fold, as long as you're relaxing, as long as you're following the instructions more or less, you're doing great. All right, from here, knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 1. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. You might notice that you can fold a lot deeper than when you first started. That is a good sign. 3. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. You might not need to bring your knee up all the way, super high, like you did before. That's completely fine. You can take some shortcuts here. Partial knee bend, chest down, straighten out is fine. Once you've done 5, we're going to hang out here for 30 seconds, and that's how we're finishing up this leg. All right, 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28. If your back muscles, your neck muscles are working really hard, you're trying to smash your face into your knee, relax those muscles. That's not what this is about. We're relaxing. All right, 25, 24, 23. If you're new to the show, just relax and breathe and maybe let yourself flop over and over again for the next couple of seconds. If you're a regular, contract your muscles, squeeze that hamstring muscle, try to push your heels into the ground for the next 10 seconds. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Relax, relax, relax. 3, 2, 1. 0. That is that hamstring stretch. Bring a leg in underneath you. Come back into that kneeling position. Give your body a second. Your back might be a little tired from all that bending we were just doing. Flex your glutes like somebody's about to smack you. Go, "Ugh!" And flex your abs like somebody's about to punch you. "Ugh!" And whew, once you've woken up those big sets of muscles, hopefully your body is a little bit more upright, more Superman posy, and we can continue with our stretch. Extend your other leg out in front of you. And let's fold. Bring that belly button down to the thigh. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Woo, that is our stretch. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. Since it's the first time on this leg, you'll be like, whoa, I'm so stiff on this side. That's okay. Keep going. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let your body flop into that leg. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is a 3rd time. From here, we're going to knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Let's go. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 1. 4 more. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. You should absolutely experiment with maybe opening up your how wide your legs are and how much space is in between. That might change the feeling of this stretch, might make it more comfortable, might make it worse. Just find whatever works for you. All right, knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 4. Keep going. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. That's 5 times. It's time for us to fold. Inhale, exhale, fold. Y'all ready? Let's go. Big breath in. Inhale. Exhale and fold, 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 fold. Ooh, inhale, relax. Let your body flop into the floor. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little bit deeper. Third time's a charm. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little bit deeper into that stretch. Woo. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, relax. This is my bad leg. This is a leg with an old injury on it. I can't fall nearly as deep as the other. So if you find that you are in that position, and you find that I'm talking way too much at any given time, you can always do a little bit more. Inhale, exhale, relax. All right, inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little bit deeper into your stretch. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. I spend a lot of time making sure we get a lot of instructions for people who are coming in brand new, and that is 5. We're gonna inhale, exhale, fold. All right, ready for this? Straighten out that leg. Big breath in, inhale. Exhale and fold. Fold, 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 fold. This is our last fold, by the way. Inhale, relax. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 2. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That is 3. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. What was I just saying? I spent a lot of time talking, giving a lot of instructions so that I hope people who are coming in for the first time feel like they know what's happening. They can jump right in and join us. That means sometimes you have no instructions and you can do whatever you want. All right. If you want to do more of anything, feel free to do more of it. 30 seconds. We're hanging out in this stretch. Let's go. 29, 28, 27. Remember, you can always inhale, exhale, relax. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19. For the regulars, flex those hamstrings, bring that heel down. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Relax, 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 relax. 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. We're done. Bring your legs back in underneath you. Whew. Ah. If you're regular and you have no idea what I'm talking about when I tell you to contract your hamstring muscles, please let me know in the chat so we can talk about that and make sure that we are all on the same page so that you can make your stretch even more intense and more beneficial for you. All right. Otherwise, let's move on into warm-up exercise number 2. Sorry, warm-up. What am I talking about? Stretch number 2. Butterfly stretch. Bring your low back, your hips, your shoulders, your head up against the wall. Bring your feet together, pull them in towards your groin, and this is our starting position. The goal of the butterfly stretch is to stretch out your inner thigh muscles, your groin muscles. All right. The way we do that is by bringing the knees down towards the ground. If you have no idea what I'm talking about and how to do that with your own muscles, just try to flex your glutes, flex your outer thighs, and focus on 2 things. 1, I want you to look at your knees. I want you to see if they, sort of flap up and down a little bit, right? You can focus on trying to get them to move, and next time you try to get them to move, try to bring them down a little bit. 2, we can feel the stretch building here in the inner thigh. If it's getting more intense here, you're doing a great job. Next step, step 3. We're taking our hands, we're applying a little bit of pressure. We're going to push our legs down into the ground. All right. I want you to push, 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 push again, keep pushing, and see how that makes you feel. If it feels painful, like there's a sharp stabbing pain, stop. If it's just uncomfortable because you're forcing yourself to stretch, that's probably okay and you can continue. We're going to hold this position for about 30 seconds. As you breathe, as you exhale, I want you to try to push your legs a little bit harder and see if you can bring them down further. That's it. That's the whole thing. All right, 30 seconds. Let's go. Inhale, exhale, and push. 28, 27, 26, 25. Let's go. Inhale, 23. Push, 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 push. 20, 19, 18, 17. Inhale, exhale, push. 12, 11, 10, 9. Inhale, exhale. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, come on out of that stretch. Let your wrists relax. Maybe don't shake them out super hard. Give them a little gentle floppiness. Move them a little bit, wake them up. Sometimes your wrists are rather fragile, so if you start whipping them around, they get a little uncomfortable with that. And if you're ready to move on, let's flap the wings of our butterfly. Use your leg muscles to move those legs in that hip socket. And when they're flapping fine, you're feeling okay. We're going to move on into our third stretch. The third stretch is called the standing pancake. All right, come on back into standing. We got to do the standing pancake standing. From here, I want you to open up your legs just a little bit, and I want you to fold and bring your belly button down towards the ground. Whee! Boom. Here is our starting position. The goal of the pancake is to, with our legs slightly wide or up until crazy wide, wherever you want to be, whatever is comfortable for you. From there, we're going to fold our upper body down in between our legs. All right, we're going to fold. We're going to fold some more. We're going to fold. We're going to keep folding. 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 And that is the goal. I want you to try your best to keep a relatively straight back, not to just turn into a turtle. All right, and that's it. If you want to make this stretch harder, there's a bunch of things you can do. One of them is letting your legs go super wide out. The wider your legs, the more different muscles you're going to get into this stretch, and the harder it's going to be. If you want to make this stretch a little bit more effective, you can also do this other thing where you extend your arms past your head. Your biceps are by your ears, and that is going to help gravity pull you down a little deeper into the ground. All right? Those are the two pieces. Let gravity pull you down. Use your muscles to pull yourself a little bit deeper if you can, and try to fold your upper body in between your legs. All right? That's it. I hope you're ready. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. All right, that's our standing pancake. Whew. Put your hands down. Try to bring your legs in underneath you. Walk your toes and your heels in slowly, a little bit at a time until your legs are underneath you. Walk your hands up your thighs until you are back into standing. That is our third stretch. That is our pancake. Oh, you might have noticed towards the end of the pancake, I was doing a whole bunch of different things. Maybe you were preoccupied with, suffering, but there's a couple of different things you can add to this pancake. Here, we're making this L shape, right? If you bring your butt back a little bit, and then you try to put your hands back behind you as well, you're still in that L shape. You've just changed the angle of that L shape. If this position works for you, maybe this is a slightly more advanced version of the pancake for you. All right. This is also very similar to a seated pancake, where your butt is back and you're able to fold a little bit more forward. Okay. So depending on where you are in your pancake journey, the standing pancake is a great place to start because gravity is helping you the most when your upper body is basically horizontal. If you're a little bit more flexible, maybe you have worse balance, you might be able to drop down onto a lower stool and work on a standing pancake. Or sorry, a seated pancake. Cool? All right. Now that we covered that, we can move on into our fourth stretch. You got the option between the figure four and the pigeon stretch. If you're a regular, feel free to jump into whichever you prefer. I'm pretty sure we did pigeon last night, so it's time to do some figure four right now. That's what I'm going to demonstrate. That's what you can follow along and do with me. All right. The figure four stretch looks a little bit like this. We're taking one leg, we're crossing over to the other side. We're making this nice triangle right here in between the legs, and we're going to pull that leg up towards our chest. And then we're going to basically hold this for as long as possible. You're going to feel a stretch out here in the side of your hip. That's a glute muscle. You're going to feel a little bit in your hamstrings. You might feel a little bit here where you're actually doing the folding. Let's take it to the floor where the figure four is supposed to be done. Lay on down on your back. Oh, relax. Breathe. Chill. Enjoy the fact that you're laying down after all that struggling, all that suffering, and let's cross one leg over. All right? I want you to push this knee back a little bit, and I want you to have this nice triangle right here. Stick one hand through the triangle, other hand around the outside of the leg, and I want you to pull it in towards your chest. Woo! That is how we get our stretch started. From here, I want you to keep pulling that leg in for 3 breaths. All right, I want you to inhale, exhale, pull. Lean back, pull that leg in towards you. Let's do it again. Inhale, exhale, pull. Inhale, exhale, pull. That's 3 times. Once you've brought the leg in a little closer to your chest, we're going to count 30 seconds. All right, 30, 29, 28, 27. If while you're pulling your legs in towards you, you're feeling a little pressure in your knee, it's a little uncomfortable, you can cup that knee with your hand. You can maybe stick the knee in your elbow pit and help pull everything in towards your chest. All right, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. The goal is to bring your legs and your chest together. So keep on pulling. Apply some nice pressure. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that is our figure four. We're going to switch over to the other side. All right, cross that leg over to the other side. Hands through the triangle, other arm around. Pull it in, and we're going to breathe. Inhale. Exhale, pull. Woo, feel that stretch building in intensity right now. Inhale. Exhale, pull. Woo, that's 2 again. Inhale. Exhale, pull. Woo, that is 3 times. 30 seconds, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Keep pulling. Support that knee if it needs it. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 11, 9, 10, 9, 8, 7. Am I counting backwards? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Lay down, relax, chill. That is the fourth of our 5 stretches. All right, we're almost done. Fifth and final stretch, here we come. If you are new to the show, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day, and it's time for us to get into our fifth and final stretch. We're doing some side splits. All right, everything so far has been some version of hip mobility. We've been working on our muscles all around the hip. We've been stretching our hamstrings, our spine, our hold on, my spine is a little. There we go. It's a little tight. I was trying to get it unstuck earlier, and I was like, what's going on? I can't talk and breathe at the same time. Okay. Where am I going with this? We're going to move on into our fifth and final stretch. We're doing some side splits. Everything we've been doing so far has been prepping some of the muscles that we need for them. The inner thighs, the adductors is going to be a big component. We did that with the butterfly. Our hamstrings, always going to be a big component. We did that with the elephant walks. We did that with the crazy hamstring stretches that lasted forever. So time to combine all those little pieces, and we're going to do some side splits. All right. If you've never done any before, do not worry. We're going to break it down into lots of little pieces. We're going to have lots of little tools to help make it safer for you to get into. The first tool I want you to introduce you to is the stool. All right. This is a little folding stool. I think it used to be $9 off Amazon, and now how much it is, I am not so sure. But if you want a link, I'll link you. Next, the purpose of this stool is to help you do this. Put your hands down, let your legs go wide. All right. That's it. That's all it does. It's just here to give you a little bit of hand support. I recommend that you have something that is relatively lightweight, that is also relatively stable and can hold some weight without collapsing. All right, but lightweight enough that you can get it out of the way so that you can, crawl out of your side split or whatever you're doing, so that you can stop. Otherwise, you'll be in a side split forever. All right. This does not have to be this exact stool. I don't actually care that much what you use. If you have a taller stool, perfect, great. If you have some yoga blocks, because you've done some yoga before, feel free to use those. Combine two things. Do what you got to do in order to have some hand support. If you have a kitchen chair right now, or a coffee table or an ottoman, you're like, is this a little too high, perhaps? You always have the option to go onto your elbows. You don't have to be on your hands for hand support, all right? So kitchen chair will absolutely work. Cool? All right. Hopefully, now that you have way too many options to choose from, you have been able to grab something and have returned. We're going to take our hand support, we're going to bring them with us, and we're going to bring our butts to a wall. All right? This wall is going to be our best friend. We're going to lean against it. It's going to hold. It's going to support us in hard times. It's going to support us in sore times. It's going to support us all the time. All right? What I want you to do from here is open up your legs. Let your butt rest against the wall, and I want you to fold your belly button down. Whee! Put your hands on your hand support. All right? Butt against the wall, hands on your hand support, legs going a little bit wider. From here, we're going to rotate our legs. All right? I want your heels to be down, your knees and your toes to be pointing up, and maybe like out to the side over there that way a little bit. Cool? We got to do that on both sides. Heel down, toes up, knees pointing up. When your legs are rotated like this, your inner thigh, this part of your thigh, should be pointing forward in front of you. That is what we want. We do this to rotate our thigh bones so they don't smash into our hips. When we do this, we rotate this nubby, chunky part out of the way, and it kind of goes into like our butt area instead of smashing into the sides of your hips. All right. And now you get to do this with a little less pain. Congratulations. All right. From here, I want you to let your butt slip down the wall. I want you to let your legs go wide, and I want you to rely on your hand support to help you find a nice, comfortable spot. This spot, this feeling that I want you to look for, is one where you feel like you're kind of in control. You're not slipping, you're not falling, you're not about to tip over. The reason why this is important is because we're trying to relax into a deeper stretch. We need our muscles to be chill, to be relaxing. If you feel like you're about to tip over, if you feel really stressed out right now, your muscles are going to be super tense and you're not going to slip into a deeper stretch. All right? So, once you're kind of here, you're maybe possibly able to chill in this position a little bit. Let's breathe. Big breath in, inhale. Hold that breath for a second and exhale. Relax. Whew. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Sink a little deeper. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. If you can, sink a little bit deeper. That's 3 times. We got some optional wiggles. See if you can push your right heel out a little bit, left heel out a little bit, right heel out a little bit, left heel out a little bit. These are optional. You don't have to do them. From here, we are in position for our first stretch. All right. Right now, our heels are down, our toes are up, our knees are pointing up. If you're a little bit higher up, it might look more like this. That's absolutely fine if it looks a little bit more like this. All right. And from here, we're going to hang out for 30 seconds. That's it. 30, 29, 28, 27. If you feel like you got a little bit more wiggle room, feel free to take it. Give yourself a little wiggle. Adjust your hand support so that you feel like you're in control. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. That's it. Move your hand support out of the way if you can. See if you can crawl forward a little bit. Create a little bit of space for your legs. Bring your legs in, and that is our first side split. Whew. Kneel, rest, sit, find a comfortable position to let your muscles relax for a second here, and grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to, because we're about to shake out our legs. All right, come on back into standing. And our next step is to relax our muscles as much as possible. I want you to start shaking out your legs, starting with your ankles. All right, I want you to visually see that your ankles are flopping all over the place while you try to shake them out, while you try to relax. Hold on to something for balance if you need it, and shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. When your ankles are going all switch legs, when your ankles are going all over the place, chances are your muscles are a little bit more relaxed. They're letting things go floppy and chill. And if they were tense, you would probably look more like this, right? Like just one solid mass of leg is moving and not the floppy floppiness. Cool? So once you've shaken out your legs a little bit, maybe this leg might need a little bit more because definitely doesn't feel like it got nearly as much love as the other one. Even it out a little bit. And when you feel like you're about there, take a couple of steps. If your legs are feeling okay, they're feeling all right, you can do some dance moves. Feel free to move on to your hips. All right. All your weight, I want you to put in one leg. Other leg, I want you to put your big toe down on the ground so that your leg's a little bit bent. I want you to take this knee, I want you to point it way deep that way. I want you to flex your glutes to help really open up that leg so that it's pointing back behind you almost. All right. And then I want you to use these muscles here in the front of your hip to bring that knee and the knee that is standing there together. All right. We're going to do a couple of these so that you really work on the full range of motion that should be available to you in this hip joint. And if you're going, what? Your hips can do that? Your hips should be able to too. You just might need a little bit of training. All right. It happens all the time when you don't use certain muscles, they get a little weaker. Your other muscles get a little bit tighter, and all of a sudden you lose a little bit of range of motion. A lot of this show is helping you to reclaim some of that range of motion, and this is one of those moves where we're focusing on as much range of motion as possible and building some strength and building some control. All right. Now that you've done a whole bunch of those, shake out that leg a little bit. Let's switch over to the other side. All your weight is in one leg, big toe is down, knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out. Whew. Shake out that leg, shake out both legs, shake out everything a little bit more, and let's get into our second side split. All right. Hand support in front of you, butt up against the wall, open up the legs, and let's fold. Inhale, exhale, fold. Whee! Put your hands on your hand support, butt against the wall, let your legs slide out a little bit. From here, rotate the legs so that the heels are down, the toes are up, the knees are pointing up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. The inner thighs are pointing forward. All right. From here, try and sink a little deeper into your stretch. Adjust your hand support, adjust your feet, adjust your butt position so that you got some support. You found a comfortable spot to hang out in for a moment. All right. And let's breathe. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 2. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 3 times. Optional little wiggle from side to side, and let's see what we can do about our hips. It's time for side split number 2. This time around, I want you to focus on the inner thighs getting stretched. All right. I want you to walk your hands forward a little bit, either with your hand support or without your hand support. You can do a little bit higher, you can do a little less high, wherever you find comfortable. And when you lean forward a little bit, I want your knees and your toes to be kind of pointing up at a diagonal around 45 degrees. That's going to put enough emphasis in your inner thighs that you get the stretch we want. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward a little bit. Bring your legs in underneath you. That is our second side split stretch. Whew. Take a second, grunt, sit there, chill for however many seconds as you need to. I'm going to say get up and do leg shakes, but if you need to take another extra couple seconds, feel free to take the time that you need. All right? Whew. All right, let's go. Come back up into standing. And let's wiggle out those legs. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Shake some more, wiggle some more, flop some more, shake some more, wiggle some more, flop some more, shake some more, wiggle some more, flop some more. Remember, the goal is relaxation, right? If you're shaking so hard that your ankles are hurting, your knees are hurting, that's not helping you. That's the opposite of what we want. We want to shake as hard and get as floppy and crazy looking as is comfortable for you. And when it's comfortable, you're going to be able to relax a little bit more. All right, let's go. I'll do like shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flap, 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 flap. Shakety shake. Wiggly wiggle. Flap, 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 flap. And whoo, hopefully your legs are a little looser. We're going to move on into our hips. All of your weight is on one leg. Big toe is down. Knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out. Let's dance. And do a couple more of these. If you're new to the show, make sure to do these with a little bit more control, with a little bit more precision, really trying to bring your knees all the way in, hips all the way out, or the knee all the way out. Feel the contraction in your hips in the front, in the back. And if you're a little bit more experienced, you've been doing this for a while, you got enough strength, got enough control, you can have a little bit more fun with it, do a little dance. Shake that leg out, do some stanky leg. And hopefully your legs are relaxed enough to get into side split number 3. All right, let's go. Hand support in front of you, butt against the wall. Open up those legs a little bit and let's fold. Wee! Hands on your hand support, butt against the wall. Legs are opening up just a little bit. Find a comfortable-ish position to rotate. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Inner thighs are pointing forward. Let your butt slide down the wall. Adjust your hand support. Find a comfortable-ish position to hang out in. All right. From here, we're going to breathe. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Again, inhale. Exhale, relax. That's 2. Inhale. Exhale, relax. See if you can sink a little bit deeper into your stretch. Optional wiggles to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. If you can get a little deeper, take it. If you can't, don't worry about it. We're moving on into our third and final stretch. You got the option of doing stretch number 1, where your toes are pointing up, your knees are pointing up, your heels are down. You got the option of number 2, where we're leaning forward a little bit more, feeling that stretch in our inner thighs. I'm going to do a version of number 2. All right, let's go. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I'm going to do a little bit extra. You guys can come out of it if you want. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Come on out if you haven't already. Walk your hands forward. Bring your knees in underneath you. Hoo, hoo, hoo. And grunt, make as many sound effects as you need to. Congratulations. We have done all the harder parts. And now it's time for some of the chiller parts. We're going to shake out our legs. Come back into standing. Let's shake it out. Shake out your ankles. Whew. Shake out your legs. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Remember, the goal is to help your muscles relax. The more you do these, the faster you'll start relaxing, because your brain will figure out that's your goal. That's what you're trying to do this whole time, all right? And it'll be like, oh, it's this thing, and I'll let you do it. So as you get more experience, as you do this more and more and more, you will be able to relax at least these muscles that we're actively shaking out a little faster over time. And let you relax on demand. All right. We're gonna move on into our hips. All of your weight is on one leg. Big toe is down. Knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out. It might look like I'm super exaggerating and like throwing the leg from side to side. That is because I like to have fun with it, and I want you to try new things. All right. If you are new to the show, focus on controlling that range of motion, building up some strength. If you're a little bit more used to this, feel free to just dance. If you want to make it even more fun, you can do some stanky leg, all right? You can pull it in, you can push that leg, you can push it back out, you can turn into some crazy dance moves and have some fun. Let's go to the other side. All your leg is in one leg. All your leg. All your weight is in one leg. Other leg. Toe is down. Knee in, knee out. Knee in and out and 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 whoo, shake out the leg, shake out both legs, give everything a little shake, a little wobble, a little flop, and we're gonna move on into our joint checks to wrap up. All right, we got two moves left. We're gonna do some hip circles. We're gonna do some calf raises. Hip circles. Slowly lean into those hips. Come on around. Pull on through. Keep going. Feeling the sides, in the back, in the side again, all over the front of your hips, and keep going with those circles. Switch directions if you haven't already. Do a couple of rotations this way, and whew, when your hips are feeling okay, great, we can move on. If your hips are feeling like they're a little tender in one spot, a little bit uncomfortable in one spot, if you want to, feel free to hang out there for a little bit. Give it a little bit of love, poke, prod, aggressively massage, whatever makes that feel a little bit better for you. All right, we're gonna move on now into our calf raises, our last move. What I want you to do is have your legs about hips width apart. All right, and then we're gonna pop into a squat. Boom. In this squat, I want you to lean forward so that you feel like you're about to tip over. Don't actually tip over, just lean forward. All right. Next, we're gonna point our knees in that direction as well, so that you feel a nice stretch in the back of your leg and your Achilles tendon and in your calves. When you do this, and you got all this weight leaning forward, your toes should kick in to grip into the floor to keep you from falling forward. That's what we want. From here, we're gonna do some calf raises. All right, put your hands down for support. If you need some balance help, use your hand support from earlier. If you want, use a wall. If you want. In fact, you can face the wall directly and do the calf raises like this. All right, so I'm gonna do it from this way so that you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. All right. Lean forward, push those knees forward. Feel that stretch in your Achilles tendon. Lean your whole body forward, make sure your toes are working, and let's do some calf raises. Come on up. Woo, come on down. Lean forward, push those knees forward, and keep going up and down. Reset, up, down. Reset, up, down. Pause, take a break if you need to. If your quads are crying, that's okay. Ignore it, keep going. Up, down, up, down, reset, push those knees forward, push those upper body parts forward, and once your calves are totally fried and they don't want to do anything anymore, you can stop. All right. What we just did was force our toes to work really hard with the arch of our foot. We forced our calf muscles to get stretched and to contract. We had our quads burning the whole time, our low back probably burning the whole time while holding up our upper back. And that is a good sign. Most of the joints in your body are working okay. All right. So if you're able to do like 75, 80% of that, chances are you're probably okay to go back to whatever else you have to do for the rest of the day. All right. That is our life. Culture Unfolded says, what if my knees was fried on the first try? Hey, if that's what happened on the first try, great. Now you know you got something to work on. You can only do one rep. We do this every single night. You don't have to be here for every single night, but you can slowly work on this. When you get to 2 reps, let me know. When you get to 3 reps, let me know. 4 reps, celebrate. All right. Enjoy every little tiny accomplishment that comes. Rock says till tomorrow. Or sorry, Book says till tomorrow. See you soon. Welcome back, Book. Goodbye, Book. Cat G says thank you, Ken. See y'all tomorrow. Cat sending good vibes. I appreciate it. All right. What do you need to know? We wrapped in about an hour, so I should probably tell you about all the other things that I do now. I make a lot of content around trying to make fitness a little bit more fun, trying to make movement a little bit more fun. I don't even really like the word fitness. I want you to just move around, do some of the crazy things that we're doing, shaking it out, wiggling, whenever you can. All right. a lot of the stiffness, the discomfort that you might be having might just be because you're stuck in one position for quite a long period of time. Some of your muscles are working really hard, some of your muscles have fallen asleep, haven't been working for decades, and a lot of the time, what you need is a bunch of gentle motion regularly so that you get comfortable with it, and then remember to just use it a little bit throughout your day. All right. So I'd love it if you take some of the floppy, wiggly, crazy looking stuff, made it a little gentler for your body if you need to, and just squeeze it in throughout your day. All right. Hopefully, that little tiny bit of movement will immediately just magically make you feel a little bit better because you're actively thinking about moving a little tiny bit more. All right. If you want to go be more methodical and thoughtful about how to move, how much your spine is actually supposed to bend or rotate or forward bend and back bend or what joints are supposed to do what, we can talk about that. You can come back to our live show on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday morning, where we do a lot more of joint mobility stuff. But in general, for most people, a little tiny bit of movement whenever you feel stiff, picking a couple of moves to throw in when you're waiting for your water to boil, while you're waiting for your coffee to come out the machine, while you're just doing something that is absolutely brainless and doesn't require your attention other than to like hit the stop button, that is a perfect time to do a little bit of movement, all right? Whether that's just a little shimmy, little little shoulder roll, little neck motion, that could all be really good depending on what your body needs a little bit more going on for. All right. Culture Unfolded says, what time in the morning? On Saturday and Sunday mornings is 9 a.m. I do a show where we focus on taking your joints through their full range of motion and really gently trying to work them and giving you some tools so that if you feel like, your elbows are a little uncomfortable oftentimes because, maybe you drive for a living, your elbows are always like this. Maybe you type on something weird, so your hands are real high and your elbows are a little bit weird and they're always jammed up in something. When you got something weird going on, a lot of the times a little gentle movement goes a long way to re-teach your brain how it's supposed to work. And that show happens Saturday and Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern. What Travel Darks said. Coach says, thank you. I really need the stretch. I'm only 30, but my knees are already hurting. Hey, that's normal. Um, Typically, when you're 30, because I'm also in my 30s, um, we pick up these desk jobs and things where all of these muscles that we used to kind of use now definitely are not getting used. All right. And it's maybe taking like 8 years, 10 years for those muscles to slowly like atrophy until they stop supporting your knees the way they used to. And now you're like, wait, my knees hurt. Um, for a lot of us, that's trainable, all right? Like there's definitely a certain amount of knee pain where it's like there's damage in there that's bad. But there's also a significant amount of knee pain that's just your muscles just need to be a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, a little bit more activated so they can support the knee and the infrastructure. A lot of the time, just having a little bit more strength in the area can do the trick. There's a dude on the internet, his name is Knees Over Toes Guy. His whole thing is he got this crazy knee replacement surgery, and it's such a crazy looking knee replacement surgery that you can tell he got knee replacement surgery because his knee is like twice as big as you would expect it to be. And he has basically trained himself and what I presume is thousands of people out of knee pain. And if that is a big concern for you, you should absolutely check out Knees Over Toes Guy. His free content is really good. If you don't want to spend any money, his free content is perfectly fine to get you started. It will give you months and months and months of work to build up your knees. And if that's not enough, find it out. We'll find out after you do the months and months. Is he on YouTube? Yes. Knees Over Toes Guy is on YouTube, and he's also on Instagram. His YouTube videos are much better. So yeah, go straight to the YouTube videos. His general bread and butter for building up the knees is making sure that you're building strength throughout the whole range of motion in the knee. It's going to be called the ATG split squat. I'll demonstrate real quick. So as soon as you find it in a video, you'll know what I'm talking about. It looks a little bit like this. You're going to probably want to elevate your front leg because it's going to make it a little bit easier to get into. And then you're going to want to bring your calf and your thigh together, right? So that you're getting your maximum range of motion out of that knee joint right here. And then the actual split squat part of this movement is using your muscles to extend that leg so that you go from maximum open and maximum close. So this is the motion that you're training, right? One of the cool secondary benefits of this movement is this back leg is basically doing a front split, or the back leg of a front split. Oh, words. And you get a huge stretch here in the front, and that means you might accidentally unlock some front splits. All right. So that's the bread and butter. That's how you strengthen the knee joint directly. There's a whole bunch of other exercises for strengthening some of the other muscles in your leg so that they can be a little bit more supportive, a little bit more reactive. The big ones are various versions of calf raises. We did one of the versions of the calf raise where your knee is basically bent. You're feeling that calf stretch, and you're coming up into a calf raise. There is a version of a calf stretch. It's slightly different because it works a different calf muscle where your legs are straight, you get that calf stretch, and then you come up into a calf raise. All right, so those are two technically different calf stretches and calf raises. There is one other big one. It's called the tibialis raise. It looks a little bit like this. You rest your butt up against the wall, and you have your heels sort of pushed out away from you, and you focus on lifting the front half of your foot off the ground towards your face. All right. The first like 2 or 3 reps, they're gonna feel super easy. You're gonna be like, "Oh, this is an exercise. What are you talking about?" And then when you try to do like 10, this part of your leg will start cramping up, and you'll be like, "What the heck? How many am I supposed to do?" For all of these movements, generally, if you can, I want you to try to do a little bit more rather than less because these are your leg muscles, right? When you take 10,000 steps in a single day, you're using the muscles at a small level a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. So if you can, try to do more reps rather than fewer reps. Um, what else do you need to know? If you have random knee aches, there are a couple of like exercises that he talks about that has slightly different formats. He is really cool because I think in his free time he trains like kids at like a school somewhere, and so he has to figure out how to make the techniques that he teaches work in like a group class format with like cheap equipment, right? Because it's for students. And one of the movements that he recommends a lot, and I actually really like, but I don't do very often anymore, is walking backwards on a treadmill that's turned off. And basically, it's this motion where you're pulling your leg forward and you're putting some pressure in the front of that knee. That is what you're trying to do. It doesn't have to be crazy, it doesn't have to be intense, but that sort of backwards walking on a treadmill and pulling the rubber floor is really good. And the less expensive, not needing a treadmill version is doing some sled pulls. So you have some weight in front of you and you're just walking backwards, pulling that weight with you. So you're still doing this motion where you're dragging your leg like this, but you're stepping backwards and pulling your whole body backwards instead of walking backwards on a treadmill. That seems to have some sort of magical effect on my left knee. There was about actually this time last year, my left knee has it is it really this time last year? I think this time last year, my left knee was super achy during like humid days, and it was like a real pain in the butt. And walking to the gym would be so unbelievably uncomfortable. But then I'd get on the treadmill, I'd do like 2 minutes of walking backwards, and I'd be like, "Yay, my knee is fixed!" And I start jumping around and being an idiot again. Um, I honestly have no idea how that works. All right, so experiment with it, try it, see if that helps you with your knee situation. But in general, most of that information is available through Knees Over Toes Guy. He has great content over on YouTube. I don't know what he's doing like recently, but if you look at his stuff that's about a year or two older, he has a lot more videos that are like, this is what I do if I like need to do my ultra like minimalist workout or something like that. Minimalist might not be the keyword, but I remembered it as his minimalist workout. Um, I hope that helps. All right, I'm gonna scoot and bring the stool closer to the camera. Culture Unfold, this is I really appreciate for taking the time to explain it for me. I'll definitely check the video. Absolutely. He has so many videos. Um, for knee like he has so many videos. If you have some other part of your body that's feeling a little bit funky, feeling a bit weird, you can go focus on those parts of those videos. But in general, if you're going for the knees, go find the knee stuff because that's his specialty, and he'll have knee specific videos so that you don't have to get pulled down a crazy rabbit hole of training. All right. All right. Let's see what else we got. I'm gonna scroll up on both platforms. I'm gonna do YouTube real quick because YouTube's really short. Lois says thanks and says hello. I'm on time. Welcome back, Lois. Queen RR sending good vibes. Somebody with a Thai name said hi. Hello. Maha Suleiman says hi. Hello, hello, hello. And then Asher Paul's raccoon says hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the live. And this is a part of the live where I just look at the comments and hang out for a little bit. All right. Fayega says, thank you for your nice work. You are appreciated. Thank you, Fayega. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Thank you for sending all the nice emojis. That's so kind. All right. I'm going to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and see what else we got. Buddha Crocuda says, yes, I heard and felt a pop. I don't hurt, but no more splits. That's a good idea. Um, Sometimes that's just some of the tissue shifting and finding a new spot to rest in. Could be okay, could be not as okay. But if it didn't hurt, it should probably be okay because you got nerve endings all throughout the inner thighs. So I hope you're fine. And it's definitely a good idea to take a break to make sure that you're fine before continuing forward. Because, you've been doing the splits live every single day for a while now. And sometimes your body just needs a little bit of rest, right? I say this a lot, but I do appreciate you guys for coming in every day when you do come in every day. Uh, you can absolutely take rest days. All right. I designed the show to be not so intense that I assume most people can't recover from it, but I'm like a 30-something-year-old dude, right? Uh, if you're 75, maybe your recovery isn't as good as mine. So if you need to take more days off, if you need more time to rest, if you need to sleep on it a little bit more, that is absolutely something you should do. All right? Great idea. Pausing on the side splits and making sure that you're not hurt. Cool. All right. Che sends awesome emojis. Thank you, Che. And oh, there's one thing I just remembered. I am looking forward to sort of expanding what we do with the channel, with the platform, how we share fitness. I am looking at potential options for building out programs for you guys. All right. A lot of you are here because of the consistency thing, because of the side splits, because of the hip mobility. If you are interested, I would love to talk to some of you, hop on a call, and sort of understand where you are in your fitness journey, in your movement journey, and whatever it is that you're trying to do, and see how I might be able to help and what we can design, hopefully with a bunch of people together, to make sure that you got all the fitnessy resources that make sense for you guys. All right. So if you're interested in that, you're interested in just talking to somebody about fitness stuff, I would love to hop on a call and chit chat. I'm not selling anything, at least not now, because I just told you I don't know what I'm doing yet. That's what I'm going to be talking about with you guys on the phone. Um, so if you're interested, shoot me a message and I will try to schedule some time very soon. If you are not interested in talking on the phone, it seems a little scary for you, feel free to just shoot me DMs. I'd be happy to pick your brain via text. All right. Yeah, so that sounds interesting. If you're interested in working with me in a more, I don't know, not this live way, in some other way, then I'm trying to figure out what that way is going to look like. I'd love your feedback. All right, I'm going to keep scrolling. Cat G says it was lagging for me until I turned off Wi-Fi. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Do we have lag? Buddha says, thank you for talking a lot. Keeps me focused and gives me time to get into position. Good. Oh wow, that's good. I am always nervous that I talk too much, but I do squeeze in a lot of the talking and the explaining to give you rest time to like transition into other things. And I'm glad somebody has said that it's actually useful because that, that makes me feel good. Because that is basically where I'm going to be starting to cut if we try to make the show any shorter. I'm going to be cutting some of those transition periods. All right. But I feel like about an hour is okay. I think I might be able to get it down to like 55 if I go a tiny bit faster, but it doesn't seem like it's that necessary. So I might not do that. Travel Doctor says, hello! Exclamation point. Charuth sends awesome emojis. And Jess says, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Lol. Yes, absolutely. Um, a lot of my philosophy towards fitness is just try to have fun. All right. Uh, your body's designed to do lots of cool, crazy little tiny fun things, and a lot of our cultures kind of almost frowned upon being not mature, being able to stand still and just be stoic. What your body needs is movement more often than less, right? So I think if you can have a little bit more fun, you can be a little bit more dramatic with your gestures, with your hand gestures, that type of stuff. It'll go a long way to just feeling a little looser, moving a little bit better, and you don't even have to do anything that crazy. All right, but in general, wiggling, doing a little flopping, doing a little shaking, do a little dancing, do some body rolls side to side, shake those hips, all that stuff is really good for you to keep your muscles relaxed, to keep them moving, to keep that blood flowing, to keep you warmed up and help you feel good. Jess says, anybody else break their drywall trying that Spider-Man move he showed us on his post? I am so sorry that you broke your drywall. I'm sorry. Chia9930 says, wee! Good. Good, 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 good. Keisha over on YouTube loves the Wii and makes sure that I remember to throw the Wii in every time. Whenever I can. Add a little bit of happiness, some enthusiasm, some funny noises so that, breaks up some of that in our stretches. Magda says my balance is not that good. Most of our show is on the ground, so you don't need that much balance. But there are three moves where you need a little bit more balance. The first one, our first warm-up exercise, the hip car, looks a little bit like this. We lift the leg, open it up, rotate some more, bring the leg down and back, and we restart. Right? We're trying to bring the whole leg through as much range of motion as possible. This obviously requires a lot of balance. If you need to hold on to a wall and then just do it like this, that's absolutely perfect. All right. Try not to hold on to something that's like loose and flimsy that will, topple over if you yank on it, because that's not that helpful. But otherwise, the other two places where we probably need a little bit of support with our balance is the elephant walk. When you're doing this a bunch of times back and forth, your hands should be close enough that you can probably put them down to catch you if you do lose balance. But in case you can't, you can absolutely do the elephant walk a little like this, right? You're going to have something nearby that you can use for a little bit of extra support, right? Don't let it get in the way of you folding, because at the end of the day, the elephant walk has that folding component to help you feel that hamstring stretch. But as long as it's not getting in the way, feel free to use a little bit of hand support. The third stretch that I can think of right off the bat that needs a little bit of balance stuff is the seated pancake or the standing pancake. The way we do our standing pancake looks like this. We're just folding forward and letting gravity pull ourselves down, right? If your balance is not so good, being upside down is not so good for you, the seated pancake is perfect. You can put a chair basically up against the wall, take a seat on it, open up the legs a little bit, and when you fold, that is your seated pancake, right? You might still want a little bit extra cushioning. You still might want a little bit of extra padding so that you can't fall forward, you can't fall out of your chair. But I hope that helps. Whew. Okay, taking my stool back to the chat. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. I don't know why I'm saying, but just wrote Spider-Man, Ken's voice, low. Oh, okay, okay, okay. True Blue 323 says they so feel heavier, but have a bit more balance, and my core really feels it. Good. This is about the first hip cars that we opened with, so we must be very close to the top of the chat. Today, if you guys weren't here, we started the live with hip cars like this. Usually we do them standing, right, with this motion, but today we did them like this on our hands and knees. There's another variation of the hip cars, right? Because our goal is to bring our leg through the hips, full range of motion, and you can do that in all sorts of ways. I like to do the standing version because I've just been doing it for a long time. But when I tried the quadruped version, hands and knees on the ground version, it just felt a lot harder. And so I'm going to see if we can start integrating a little bit of both in so that people who have a little bit of a harder time with balance can have another alternative. Plus, This one is like really hard for me right now. So that might be a good reason to do it all in and of itself. All right. I'm glad your core is working harder. I felt it too. I was like, man, I'm so tired after these. Good thing we went back into standing to finish up for the reverse ones. Do 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 do. Oh, good. True Blue says yes. I'm so glad you're doing this version of high knee is easier for me. Good. I think. Except your glutes are probably working harder and your core is also working harder. So, there's some pros and some cons, right? Some movements are a little easier, some movements are a little bit harder. True Blue says evening, everyone, and that is about the life. I guess is GM. Maybe that means good morning. Cat G says yes. All right. Oh no, I did not see that. Where are we at? It's on TikTok at the bottom. I'm scrolling. Um, do you recommend any stretches for ITBS? I actually don't know what ITBS stands for. What is it that you have? Is it like the IT band? Oh, okay. Okay, cool. All right, that's what I thought. I was just nervous that it stood for something else. Um, no, I don't really have any expertise in the IT band. I've had ITBS when I was like 14. I just don't remember anything about what we did to resolve that because probably I was 14. So I just recovered and let my body do its thing. So I'm sorry, Sylvia, I don't have anything for you. Yeah, I was gonna say no, I don't want to give any recommendations that might just not be correct. So I'm gonna stick with no, I don't have anything for you. Sorry, Sylvia. Okay, I think that's it. That's it. It is 22:22, which is 10:22 in military time, but it looked really cool to say 22:22. It's time to wrap up. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, practicing a little bit of consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility with me today. Again, if you're interested in finding some sort of way to work together that I can support you in your fitness goals, perhaps, I would love to talk to you. Even if we don't work together, I would love to know more about your fitness experience, what you want to work on, what your goals are, what you've struggled with, so I can help build something that matches your needs. All right. And the best way to do that is to talk to the people who need something from me. If you're interested, make sure to DM me. I will have, I guess, be regularly checking my DMs so that we can have a conversation, hop on the phone, hang out for a little bit, get to know each other. And then if you're not interested in a phone call for some reason, we can shoot messages back and forth. All right. Hopefully that sounds good to you. It sounds exciting to you because I would like it to be exciting. I'd like it to be fun. I'd like it to have sort of the vibes that we have on this live, maybe with a little bit more structure outside of the live because I don't know, that probably makes sense. And we'll see how that goes. Cool. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you all real soon. That is it for me. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Have a great rest of your night, and I'm shutting it down right